Coming up on today's show, a pair of lifelong friends join forces to create the women's golf brand of their dreams. Say hello to LemonRose Golf. Not just a brand, but a movement to build confidence and cultivate a community for women everywhere. But first, for 20 years, Philadelphia's golfers have flipped through the pages of the Gap magazine, staying up to date on local golf knowledge while also learning about the region's rich history. Now entering a special anniversary year, let's take a look at how the magazine started and how it continues to expand 20 years later.
All right, Dalton, you're like in the middle, actually not, you're between John and Tony and me, but favorite issue for you?
Yeah, so I think the favorite issue for me, I think it's pretty clear. Unfortunately for you guys, you hear about it a lot in the office, but it's the great Max Marston, summer 2023. Actually, Max was probably one of the most underappreciated Gap legends. His year in 1923 was pretty historic, winning basically a bazillion things in one year, including the U.S. Amateur.
We had a relationship with Philadelphia Golf magazine, which was a relatively new publication where Gap would supply content to the magazine that would get published inside their publication in a sense. Fred Beringer was then the editor of that publication. So I got a call in, I think it was June of 2006, and Fred said, hey, we need to come in and have a meeting. So I go to Mark and I said, well, this is going to be one of two things. They're either going to need some more money to produce the magazine or they're in trouble. So we sat down with Fred and a partner in that room, and they said Philadelphia Golf Magazine is ceasing publication as of now. So then at that point we had no more personal touch point with any Gap member in terms of communication. So if that would have gone away, that was kind of our touch point with members, that we didn't have anything. So Mark's like, well, can we make something? And I said, well, I put together a newspaper, so I'm sure I can put together a magazine. And then like a month later, we put out a really terrible first issue that was 12 pages, looked like it was done in somebody's basement. And now our last issue was our grandest issue. We had 72 pages in it with a great story, great content, great layout, high quality publication.
Big year, we got 4 issues. We also got the 2 supplemental issues that we're going to do with the Philadelphia PGA Championship at Aronimink and the U.S. Amateur at Marion. Tony, I have you with the U.S. Amateur book, question mark?
Yeah. Really try to make it a publication that people want to read. There is nothing in any publication over the 20 years that isn't a Gap person, a Gap place, a Gap fan. I think at one point we determined it takes about 10 hours to do one page. When you talk of reporting, writing, editing, layout, changes, more proofreading, back to whatever, it's about 10 hours a page. So you become kind of, a little sensitive to copy when I have to go to the guys and say, hey guys, I know you wrote 1,500 words, but I only need 12. Need to get rid of 3. Do I really need to get rid of 3? Well, unfortunately, we can put a wall of copy, but we need to make it artistically friendly.
So I just need to iron out that concept a little more and frankly nail down a few candidates to reach out to who are actually in bands. I know of John.
Gap Magazine is our baby, that's for sure. We want to nurture it and take pride and ownership in what we do with every issue. There's a personal pride I feel because I've been with Gap since 2009. Given my longevity, I feel like each issue I want to improve on my ability as a writer. I want to inform our readership of what Gap does in all levels. I think it's fulfilling for me because I get to explore so much of not just Gap, but items with a Gap touch point, and that deals with Philadelphia golf and beyond. So the thrill for me is in unearthing those stories and bringing them to our readership. And Gap Magazine, it's physical. We not only have a digital version of Gap Magazine each issue, but it's a physical touch point. And to me, there's something special about going to the mailbox and pulling a magazine out of the mail. Growing up as a kid, I loved reading the newspaper. I was big into the sports section of the newspaper and beyond. So there was a charm to having a physical copy of the newspaper and just to read it. And that's why I'm where I am today. It bears a large responsibility for it. I was heavily influenced on journalism by reading the newspaper. So to be able to carry that torch and be a part of Gap magazine, I'm honored.
We have certain sections that go in every book. That's a standard that we've kind of developed. From the beginning, I can remember thinking back at the very first issue, thinking like, how are we going to do this each month? Just finding material to put in the magazine. Now we have people who reach out to us with story ideas, whether it's writing a book. The big joke amongst the staff is seemingly everybody has a hole-in-one but anybody who works here, because we get like 5 emails a month that say, hey, Jack has 5 holes-in-one at Bala, can you do a story on it? We typically have like a rules article, like people kind of are into the rules. We have our news and notes kind of section, a member club profile, because without member clubs, there's no Gap. We have a Faces in the Crowd to steal from Sports Illustrated a little bit, which we call What's Gappening. We have a Historically Speaking, so a historical aspect of Gap, because Gap is such a historically based organization where we have an article each issue that touches on somebody that touched the association, but modern day people have no idea. And Dalton does a lot of those because he really loves to write about history. In each four issue cycle, we have 3 topics that kind of touch anything within the golfing realm, and then 1 is a Gap specific kind of championship touch. So we've done history of the amateur, history of the Open, history of the Patterson Cup, history of the junior boys this year, so that people, in 100 years from now, at least they'll have a little bit of a reference point when they go back and look to what happened the first 100 years of those events. Those events are crazy old. The amateur this year is 126 years old. A lot of history to write about.
The piece itself was just important to me, just being able to put something historic together like that and celebrate, a guy in Gap that maybe not many people know about and probably should.
We are the Gap historian.
If you think of us as a department, Marty's the captain of the ship. He oversees what we do on a day-to-day basis, and he makes sure we execute the vision of Gap accordingly, and he'll delegate accordingly. He's a tremendous leader. I have the utmost respect for Marty and what he does from a leadership standpoint. So you have Marty as the leader, and if I were to frame each individual's sort of concentration within the department, as I mentioned before, I am video production. John Iswald, his concentration, I would say, is social media. And it's funny, I would actually frame, and he's the one who introduced this term to us, but Dalton is certainly the junkyard dog, the guy who gets in there and does everything. Not to say that Dalton's incapable in these other areas, but he's, by the junkyard dog term, he does it all. The dynamic within the department is special to me because we are all cut from the same cloth. We take pride in our work. We value hard work. We value commitment. We value a finished product that we can look at the following day, the following year, the following 10 years, and take pride on. So the fact that we all share that mindset is, to me, what makes it special as a team.
What else do we have for meat and potato kind of stories for the spring issue? So Tony, you want to go?
Sure. My meat and potato item is...
None of this happens without the support of the Gap Executive Committee. I've been through a fair amount of board presidents now, being here for 25 years, and board members, and every person on those boards has been super supportive of the magazine and believes it has a place in Philadelphia golf. And 2, certainly, before I continue, would be without Mark Peterson, who obviously gave me a start as the executive director, and now with Mario moving into a higher role in Gap. Those guys are super supportive. They let us do our thing and what we know we can do and do well. At the beginning, I didn't know if we could even A, do it, and B, what are we going to fill copy with? And seriously, we're not everywhere. We're a lot of places, but we're not everywhere. And now the magazine kind of feeds itself. It generates its own leads. It generates its own copy, generates its own excitement. When clubs are in there, we send the club a note, hey, we're going to feature you in this issue of the magazine. Make sure your members subscribe to the publication. But I would say for me, if you're a Gap member and you haven't subscribed to the magazine, you should, because it's everything you want to know about Gap, everything you want to know about people in Gap, and most importantly, it's part of your membership. There's no cost. We just need your address.
I know, like, that you could show it off and stuff. It just is kind of another medium.
Each year with Gap Magazine, we grow. We have different design concepts that we impart. We have different story ideas, varied content, different topics of concentration for each issue. So I feel like there's growth in each issue. So the ultimate hope for me is to just continue on the trajectory I feel Gap Magazine is on here after 20 years. And hopefully that gets us to a point where we are on the level of recognition when it comes to magazines.
We have a lot of things that we do here at Gap as a group. You know, everybody knows the tournaments and everybody knows the team matches. But not everybody knows, you know, what member services does, why course rating is important, what the Plaque Caddy Scholarship does for kids to allowing them to go to college. You can find that in the magazine. And it doesn't cost you anything. You're already kind of paying for it. And if you don't want it, you know, you can put it in the recycling bin. But I'm pretty sure that in all these books, you're going to find at least one thing that'll grab your attention.
Where we highlighted a bunch of...
Gap is the fabric of Philadelphia golf. That's how I see it. I think this association started in 1897 it's Philly. And it's really hard to explain to an outsider just how special Gap is. You have to feel it. You have to be a part of it to some degree. Whether you're a tournament participant, whether you're a staff member, or whether you're a Gap member or a Gap member club, I think that just experiencing this association to some level gives you the feel of its import, its history, its place in golf.
Of Golf Genius and how it kind of started here in Philadelphia, and now it is one of the major...
A lifelong friendship that started at LaSalle University has blossomed into something new. LemonRose Golf, solving the style and comfort needs of women golfers everywhere.
What Kristen didn't know at the time that she knows now is that when I set my mind to something, I don't stop. Ever. 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 So September 18th, 2024 is when I texted her and I said, Kristen, we've been talking about designing something for years. I have it. Women's golf apparel.
Even when the idea of women's golf apparel was settled on, and I'll tell you, we started sketching that night, weeks and weeks later, I still was like, okay, are we really gonna follow through with this? Are we just meeting once a week to have a glass of wine and talk about golf, or are we really gonna follow through? And as the ball kept rolling, it was like a snowball. It got bigger and bigger, and we got more and more involved, and it was like, there's no turning back. We set our hearts on it, and it just stuck.
So I had almost 20 years in media as a broadcast journalist, and there were a number of years towards the end where I felt this thing inside. That's how I describe it. It was just this thing inside that I felt. It would wake me up in the middle of the night. I'd shoot up out of bed, literally having like a panic attack. There was something inside telling me, you're not where you're supposed to be right now. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it was really scary to take that leap of faith. It took me years after recognizing this to be able to say, I'm gonna go out on my own and try something new. And that was the scariest, yet the most amazing thing that I ever did. But did I leave the media with the idea of, I'm leaving this to design a golf line? No. I just left and I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. And it was the most empowering thing I ever did, the coolest thing I ever did, but the absolute scariest thing I ever did. And about a year and a half in, when I finally settled in my new life, is when I was like, hey girl, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this.
I also had some pivots along the way. Right out of college, I worked in advertising and marketing, and I just didn't feel that. After several years, we joke, I would think more about what I was going to wear to work than what I was actually doing when I was at work. Sorry. So I said, I want to go back. I want to learn about fashion. I wanted to learn about fashion my whole life. I just this is the time. So I left that. I went back to grad school. I got my master's in global fashion. And after that, I took a job with the urban brand Anthropologie and was personal styling for them, which was so fun. It was so great. I loved it. Then I had my daughter, and I wanted more. I wanted to keep styling, but I wanted more than just one store or one brand that I could work with. So I was like, I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to style. I'll have all of this at my fingertips, and I can style the way I want. And then COVID hit, and there was no styling. And I think that things happen for a reason. It was the perfect time to get that text and say, I know what we're doing. And I saw it, and I was like, this is what we're doing. This fits. This is exactly what I need right now. And it was the timing, the white space that golf apparel for women is lacking, and it just fell into place.
And we both golf. We're not great. I'm a 25 handicap, okay? But we both golf, and we've played for more than 10 years at this point. And so not only do we have the fashion background, we have the golf background to kind of have those worlds collide in, I think, the best way possible. And when I also use our backgrounds when I use that phrase, our worlds collide, because she's really the fashion side of things. I'm really the storyteller and the business side of things. I went back to school, I got my MBA, I graduated last year at 42 years old. And so I feel like we have every aspect of this covered, and it's already better than I imagined.
We both know what quality and fashion we like. And I say this all the time too. If you looked at both of our closets and saw so many of the same pieces, maybe in different colors, but we go hand in hand with our vision and our love of fashion and what we know works.
And what works for the founders of LemonRose Golf is teamwork. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Playing off of each other's strengths and getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
While we do have a lot of similarities, we do have a lot of differences, and I think they push us to better each other. I think I'm a little bit more passive, and you are a little bit more, I want this, I'm gonna get it done. And I think early on especially, I needed that push to get outside of my comfort zone. I look for that advice, and I look for that, keep me on track. I'm a mom, I'm scatterbrained, I need someone to keep me on track, and I think that complements our business aspect of it.
And also, I wasn't a stylist. I think I have decent style, but she's my stylish friend. Nobody has style like Kristen. And so, for instance, we have a photo shoot that we're planning right now for all of our apparel, and a part of our shoot is to teach her, this is what we say, we're gonna teach her how to wear our apparel. So by that I mean, yes, I would golf in this today, but like this as an example, I don't know that you'd golf in this. You might wear this for cocktails after, you might wear this just with jeans going somewhere else not having to do with golf. But so we're planning a photo shoot where we're gonna show her our apparel on the course, and then we're going to show her our apparel off the course, where we're not even remotely doing anything close to golf. We're wearing jeans, we're wearing heels, we're wearing this and that. And I'm like, Kristen, I need you to get on styling this whole photo shoot. I need you to put all these outfits together and just have it ready for us, because that's what she's done and that's what she's good at. I can't do that. That's her thing. So we have a lot of similarities, we have a lot of differences, but I think they're all the right things.
Kristen and Jillian saw a need for women, the need for more options and for more versatility.
I personally think that women's golf apparel right now is an afterthought. It's the men's attire, and then, as we like to say, shrink it and pink it. Just make it smaller and make it pink, and that's what's offered to women. I mean, you can see in any pro shop, the options are so limited. It's functional right now. It is, you need this to go play, so we're gonna give you only what you need to get out there and play the game, and then what you do before and after, that's on you. You have to figure that out for yourself. So there's a really big space that we're looking to fill that will take the girl from the course to drinks after to dinner, but making it beyond the course.
We have created apparel that is for your life, and you can golf in it, and it's highly functional. The fabric is all top quality fabric. There's pockets and everything. The number one complaint I hear from women is there's no pockets. The shorts are attached to the dresses. How is this functional for us? So we've created fashion at the forefront, I think, that is also highly functional for people to golf in, and I think that's the difference, and I think that's what's missing.
This isn't strictly a clothing brand. LemonRose is a community, and it's working to grow the game beyond its current crowd.
Early on, when we decided to make an apparel brand, we were very apparel forward. And then, a little piece of trivia, LemonRose was not our first name. We had a name before we switched to LemonRose. And as soon as we switched our name to LemonRose, it took on a personality of its own. We were more than transactional. It was like a light bulb went off, a little lemon and a little rose went off, and we were like, we want to be so much more than just click, buy, we'll see you next time. We want you to get to know us. We want to have you as our friend. You want to play? You've never played before? Borrow our clubs, come out with us. I think golf really needs to take the intimidation factor out of it for women, and that's kind of what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. So last year, I had approached Kristen. I said, I think we need to start events. I have this vision for us that we, down the line, maybe it's in 26, maybe it's in 27, where we host 2-day retreats for women. And a part of it is professional development and confidence coaching and all of those things that can translate between golf and your professional experience at work, because as we know, those things go hand in hand as well. And I want us to play golf. I want the women to have that confidence building, and I want these to be fun weekends that people look forward to every year. And so we hosted an outing in October at Merchantville Country Club in Cherry Hill, and I didn't know how this was gonna go down. I was nervous. I'm like, are 3 people gonna sign up? Are 10 people gonna sign up? What if only 10 people sign up? Do we still host the event? Do we still go forward with this? What happens? And it sold out in 2 days. And we had this moment, I think we both cried, where it was like, oh my gosh, we're doing something here that's really special that people wanna be a part of. And the only way to feel comfortable, I think, is to feel like you have other people that you know feel the same thing, and that you can talk about it and you can experience it together and build that confidence together. So that's really what we're trying to do for women, is say, hey, we feel this too, come hang out with us.
We all know the feeling of standing on the first tee for the first time, or being unsure if you're in the right place on the golf course, doing the right thing. LemonRose wants to make those moments easier.
Yes, golf is hard and it's very intimidating, but you get so much more out of it once you just step into it. Step into that discomfort. She'll tell you, I'm really big on making yourself uncomfortable. Yeah. I'm living proof of it because I've done it the last 3 years of my life, every single day in leaving my career. And I think the second you can step into something that makes you uncomfortable, you're growing instantly and you're gonna gain so much more out of it. And that to me is what golf is all about. Like even the day that we had that outing, all the women who showed up also empowered us. Yeah. And it was really cool to be a part of. And so I want LemonRose Golf in 5 years to be an energy. I want it to transform the way women look at golf, the way they look at themselves in business, the way that they conduct business. I want it to be something that women can look at and say, those are my best friends. You know what I mean? Like I know them. I know them. They started this golf brand and they started this apparel, but they also come out and they play with us.
And I can't wait to see what their next collection is.
Yeah.
I want multiple collections every year. I want to grow with the fashions, with the trends, with the styles. I want to just dress these women from head to toe. We often say golf is hard, life is hard. We want to style you and make this part of it easy.
Next week on Inside Golf, we travel down to Orlando, Florida for the 72nd PGA Show. Yes, it is the latest and greatest in golf merchandise and technology, but even more than that, it's a collection of PGA professionals, media members, and businesses big and small.
So what you do is
they're flying in from around the world, or some of them pack up their cars and drive across the country to the biggest week in their industry. Why? To network, catch up with the latest trends, but most of all, it's because they love the game of golf. We love golf too, and we hope you'll join us next week for this special episode of Inside Golf. The 29th season of Inside Golf is made possible with support from Gap, Destination Montco Golf, First Tee Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and Inside Golf's partner for 29 years, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.